Welcome to Mechanicky Stuff. Welcome to Mechanicky Stuff. Today's adventure is the spare wheel from Fiona. I was setting up a fuel tank and spare wheel on the back just to see sort of how it looked. And then I realised one of the stud holes is absolutely bloody massive. You can see the difference between one and this one. And it doesn't look like it's worn over or anything. I honestly don't know whether it's just bloody dropped off. So anyway, I was sort of thinking, we'll weld a couple of washers into it. One to basically make the space up back to original, and then a little one on the back, basically so it sits flat on the hub. So I found that, and a bolt, and I was sort of wondering if we could sneak that through the hole like so, so it actually, you can see, so it fits in, and then maybe run this nut down to hold it temporarily, he says. Plus it's full of shit, isn't it? It won't go on. There. That's better. All it is just to set it up while I get a couple of tacks onto it. If you are interested in this sort of thing, please like and subscribe. It means a lot to me. It gives you a little bit more confidence. You can see that, okay? It gives you a little bit more confidence to make things. If you're sort of interested in Fiona itself and the history of her, if you go back through the previous videos, I say a little bit about her. I am actually going to do, I think in this week's Yik Yak and a Brew, I'm going to explain how I ended up with her, but you'll have to like and subscribe and ring the bell icon for future videos to find out how that happened. Right, what I'll do, I'll gas weld. I'm a bit old-fashioned. I'll gas weld this. I'll just put a couple of tacks on, and then we'll take the bolt out and just make sure that it's going to work exactly how I'm wanting it to work. And then obviously we'll weld it up. So just 2 seconds, I'll get it lit up. I do have a gasless MIG welder and an arc welder, but personally, I like gas welding. Not the best in the whole wide world, you know what I mean, but shit. The old oxyacetylene, it really is handy. If you've got to heat things up, he says, you've got to heat things up, you know, to slacken them off. Here we go. Let it grow. That'll do for us. So we'll just warm it up, give it a tack. I won't yet while I'm welding because it's hard to bloody concentrate as it is. I probably will. We'll just see how this goes anyway. We might need to give a bit more flame, to be honest. This is a big old lump, isn't it? That's better. I may end up actually arc welding it when I've tacked it all together. I'm not exactly 100% sure. I don't think it'll ever get bloody used. It's one of those things for show. It probably would have been an easier bloody arc welding, wouldn't it? Come on. I did say before that we've decided that Fiona, the 1929 Shenarden Walker, we're going to make a special out of her for trials in, hopefully. Because to source a body, you'd have to destroy something. And I'm not really into that. I've been offered a whole body, but I don't need all of it. And I think it will be a crying shame to cut it up. You know, just for basically a little, basically a tiny little seat. Because that's all I want. I want her open. Nearly there. Just see it sparkling. There we go. I did wonder about brazing this, because I love brazing. There we go. Brazing is, in my opinion, for little jobs like this, a lot better than welding. Because you don't know what the quality of the metal's like, do you? When you're trying to weld really, really old things like this. Well, it's probably better than the shite you get today. But when you braze something, I don't know, it just seems to weld to go a little bit better. And vibration wise, brazing is in my mind, is a hell of a lot better because it doesn't crack, does it? We get in there. Yeah, not like stretching the video out, is there? See if I'd have arc welded it or MIG welded it, it'd have been bloody done now. But, you know, in the day when these cars were built, I suppose they probably had arc welding all the atomic arc. But most of it, I'm guessing, would have been gas, wouldn't it? There we go. There's 3 nice little tacks on there. What we'll do is we'll spin it over. Excuse me, I'll put that in my mouth. Right, I can't get to that until that's cool. So we'll turn that off and I'll come back to you when it's okay. Hello again, we're back. Right, it's cooled down a wee bit. We'll whip the nut and bolt out. Then you might be able to see the method in my madness. I put the nut and bolt in the first place to actually centralise it. Still bloody hot is that, is. I think it'll look nicer as well with a gas welding repair. Silly hot is that. Right, there we go. Make sure I don't stand on that bastard like I did before. Get it out of the way. Right, you might be able to see now. You see here? We'll weld it all round here, and there's actually a wee little crack there as well. And I would much prefer to gas weld that than electric weld it. So what I'll do, I'll get the gas crack back on. We'll get that welded up. So just 2 seconds. I have a habit of just turning the gas off every time. Nothing less than coming back to an empty bloody bottle. So I guess it's all that they've done, you know, back in the day. They're just bloody, yeah, I bet they welded so in everything. You can follow that little crack there. I wonder if he's had a bump or something, you know, at one point. And I say it's torn, isn't it? That's actually running quite nice, is that one? Probably was just a little bit too long. There. That's lovely. Keep spinning it. You notice I've got my leather apron on. I'm sick of bloody burning myself. Tried and tried on everything. Mind you, I don't suppose really you should work in shorts and sandals, should you? That's the way it is. It's still warm here. I've tried overalls. I do wear them in the winter. When it goes from the sublime to the bloody ridiculous. At the moment, you know, we're still in the high 20s. You just end up really sweating and getting annoyed and frustrated. What I do anyway. Right. That's going really nicely. It's a bit more, I find it a little bit more accurate. I've never really TIG welded. I did have a go years ago, and I thought, oh, this is bloody wonderful. But then what would I use it on? Because most of the shit I weld, old Land Rovers and things like that, I gas weld or a bloody arc weld, to be honest. The MIG's alright for, you know, the gasless MIG. The moment you get a slight breeze if you're trying to do it outside, you're knackered. And my theory is as well, if it's too thin to arc weld, it's too thin to bloody weld, isn't it? There's no point trying to weld like paper thin metal unless it's bodywork. Yep, you little git. There you are, that's lovely. Well happy with that. Just flattening it off a little bit. Just letting it run around. I don't know whether that shit that makes it do that. Quite happy with that. Right. It would be easier if we could lift that off the workbench actually. Bit like that. There are actually two washers there. You know, I might actually, so about the time I've done this, pissed around, it'd probably be easier to out weld it, wouldn't it? I'll show you chaps my crappy welding. I don't know if that's going into the old rim. A little bit more. We seem to be losing that bloody oxygen in there. I think we're out of oxygen. Right, we're going to end up out welding that, mate. Bloody typical, isn't it, that? Never mind. Just hang fire a minute and I'll get the arc welder set up. Hello again. Got all set up for the arc welder. Got a little bit of a grinder here. We're going to just clean this so we can get the earth onto the rim. He says, we'll plug it in first. The better earth you can get, the better weld you'll get. There we go. That's a lovely earth. Right. As we say, watch your eyes. Oh, we're losing it. Stop slinging it on the floor. That's a pretty good big bird, isn't it? We'll give that a whack. Down with a little hammer. Then we'll go over it all again. I was a little bit cautious to start with because it's I didn't really want to blow a hole through it. See if I can find my wire brush. There we go. That's definitely thick enough. Just get rid of that crappy rod. Put another rod in. Again. Watch your eyes. That'll do. We'll let that cool down and sort of clean it up a little bit, but I think we can call that a draw. Okay. As I keep asking you to, if you like this sort of stuff, please like and subscribe. Helps the channel grow. Cheers, mate. Bye-bye.